Let's see what the latency is like. 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 Is my mic even coming through? Nothing's muted. Is my mic even coming through? Nothing's muted. Oh my days, it's so quiet. Nothing's muted. Oh my days, it's so quiet. Oh my days, it's so quiet. Nothing's muted.
Feeling that the paint color. Maybe the color would change after we dried it, and because it's a water-based paint, it can actually blow dry and mess it all here. But I still wasn't convinced this was the right color, and I was right. A little bit yellow. Yeah. Which one did I pick on? Guess it. Oh my god, I'm so dyslexic. You put the. Yeah. Which one did I pick on? Guess it. Oh my god, I'm so dyslexic. You put the wrong. I thought it was green. That's why it was green. Wait, which one's 1411? Yeah. And I picked up 1411. Purple. And that's yellow. And that was yellow. That's why it looks green. What did it still go? Yeah. So I mixed up the paint. Easily done, and some would say a rookie error. And you'd be right, I am a rookie. But now, at least we've got the correct paint coat and the correct image paint. I've gone over with the correct paint this time, then gone off and blow dried this layer, and then for the final layer, Chris has gone in to not only put the last layer on water, but to also blend in the door. Okay, so we've blended into the door what Chris did, and but at the minute, I still think it doesn't look equal.
Let's see how this goes. Right, so we're gap down, which is interesting. Gap down quite a bit actually, leaves a void, pretty void. So, I mean, I think we could end up going lower. So that could mean that we looks like it's going to push through to the middle of the week fair value gap and then next quarter. So that's probably the likely target because there's all this inefficiency on that side. Um, we've got the news 9:45 and 10. Okay, so I'm interested to see what happens at the open bell and um, at 9:45 and 10. If it goes up, I'm looking for a bearish setup. So if it goes up, then I'd like to judge and see how far up it does go as like manipulation because it's kind of just been creeping lower, and I'm assuming there might be sell side sat above these highs, which are relatively smooth, not equal highs, but relatively equal. Midnight opening price as well. Since we began, that's at the minute it's just dug straight into that liquidity. High time frame one. And in my opinion, I don't think it will go higher. I mean, that would be very confusing actually, considering that Monday move up, Tuesday move up, potentially creating the high of the day, finding resistance at the old daily fair value gap at the middle, and then going lower, gapping down. So it may well want to go up to here. Well, I'll be gauging to see how much higher it will want to go as a form of, well, I was about to say as a form of manipulation, but I don't believe that this is just a move lower as manipulation just to go higher. I don't see the market. I don't think it's likely that it will want to go higher than this void. So I'm going to judge the behavior at 9:30 on the news, see what happens. First area of interest is obviously these highs here because it's just been a down move. People are probably going to be chasing that going lower, so trading stop losses above highs like this. So they probably would have seen this gap lower and wanted to chase it. Excuse me. So we shall be watching to see how price delivers at the opening bell, which is in 15 minutes. Let me send a stream link to YouTube. Or to YouTube to Discord, I mean. Okay. So yeah, as I said, I know we've just reached this sell side liquidity here, but I still believe that we're going to go lower. But I don't believe in my mind that at the open bell and at the news it's going to be just a straightforward move down. I think these highs are going to want to be attacked first. That will be one point of interest. Another one will be the midnight opening price. And then if those two gets breached, then I'm assuming it will go up to here. And it also wants to go up to here. Last night's closing price is the session's closing price was here, and so far we're down here. So I think also opening range gap for today. Oops. Something like this. I mean, it's nice how the middle of that is in, well, where I put out the minute, roughly. In general, it's near the midnight opening price as well, so that's a confluence. Also, the top of this weekly blue shaded area, the weekly fair value gap, which is what I've noticed. So that could be a strong point of interest. There's a lot of confluences in that area, and then there's just liquidity sitting just below it. So how much higher above the liquidity could it go? Here, maybe here. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to gauge and measure and see to see what it wants to do. So I'm looking for a bearish test look, but where it decides to perform the actual bearish move of the day is a different question. I'm going to leave that there for now. I'm not going to focus too much on it at the moment. Not really any important sessions to note other than this London buy side. There's Asia buy side here, a gap. this is a breakout here. So I don't see price going above this. If it does, fine. Not particularly bothered, but yeah, just it is what it is. Excuse me. Yeah, just it is what it is if it does. But other than that, we're just gonna wait now, another 10 minutes. This gap had me CPI gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's gonna get ignored, to be honest. Yeah. S&P closed past, or currently moving past, a weekly fair value gap as well. So this is probably likely. It's already been on Nasdaq. Tuesday being the high of the day as well is a good signature, I think. I believe. I think that's a good signature. Closing past this weekly fair value, disrespecting it. Potentially an order block. We've wicked up into this potential order block, and then it's now wanting to go lower. So there's also this breaker here on the daily chart for S&P. It may well want to go reach for these lows down here. Nasdaq, not too sure how far down it will want to go, but I'm not really concerned about that at the minute. Because I remember before it was doing, I think it was this scenario here where it went lower and then it decided it just wanted to go higher again. So whether we're going to get that again, goes lower and decides to want to go higher again, that's a different scenario in itself. Hello, Cyan XBT. How you doing today? You enjoy yourself? Don't know how long ago you sent that message, but my bad. Also, I don't know why I just said Cyan. I know it's Cyan, but I only just noticed your profile picture now. Oh, for fuck's sake. I have watched Dragon Ball myself, don't worry. I have indeed watched Dragon Ball. I only just noticed your profile picture now. Oh, for fuck's sake. I have watched Dragon Ball myself, don't worry. I have indeed watched Dragon Ball. Let me just double check my sound, because I know I'm really quiet on these streams. I need a better mic. No, I'm not full time at the minute. It's kind of like this is not the sole thing that I do. Obviously, I work a job at the minute. And then I can just sometimes I can be busy during the day, but I'll still try to find time to look at the charts as much as I can. Like I will pave some time to try and get some chart time in and place trades, but it's not the only thing that I do. It's not the only thing that I do. No. What is it? I find time to look at the charts as much as I can. Like I will pave some time to try and. God damn, I'm so quiet. Let me just turn this off. But it's not the only thing that I do. It's not the only thing I do. No. Hopefully that should be a bit louder. Maybe this will be a bit louder now. Look at the charts as much as I can. Like I will pave some time to try and. God damn, I'm so quiet. Let me just turn this off. It's not the only thing that I do. It's not the only thing I do. No. Hopefully that should be a bit louder. Maybe this will be a bit louder now. Oh damn, I'm so quiet. Let me just turn this off. It's not the only thing that I do. Hopefully that should be a bit louder. Maybe this will be a bit louder now. Okay, cool, yeah. I mean, I do have a better mic, but it's just how often do I really stream to want to get all that shit out? I don't know how long the stream's going to be either. I've got work shift to go to later as well. I don't know why I choose to do these streams when I'm on when I've got a work shift to do. Okay, cool, yeah. I mean, I do have a better mic, but it's just how often do I really stream to want to turn off? But yeah. It's the realistic life of a developing trader. I'm actually gonna do like a proper like day in a life video at some point soon. I'll probably end up piecing some bits together. I'm gonna choose a day probably next week on Tuesday maybe to film it, and yeah, that should be an interesting video. See what it's really like to be as a trader and also working a part-time job at the same time. You might be able to get to see footage of me in my work uniform at my workplace. It's not glamorous, I'll say that. Okay, just coming up to the opening bell now. Let's see what it wants to do at 9:30. Kind of in the same position, working and trading. Well, this is the life, isn't it? This is a realistic lifestyle of a developing trader, right? It's not as what we expected it to be from what we see online. I can say that, but this is the kind of mindset that I want to try to push to people: the working class hero approach in terms of trading, and then anything else is just extra, you know. Okay, 9:30. What do you want to do? I don't know if you're finding this a bit boring. I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, fair play if you're still here, but this is literally what it's gonna come with watching people trade. I guess just me sat here and killing time really until the news events unfold and until I see my strategy. Sure, man, it's taken me 2 years to finally get semi-profitable. Oh, okay, nice. Hoping to go full time next year. Yeah, this is well. The thing is, this is aspirations, right? I'm not trying to like burst your bubble or anything, but I'm just saying, don't be surprised if um, the time horizon that you give yourself doesn't actually come into fruition. You know, this is something that I did last year. So I was doing really well on demo last year, and um, I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna buy a prop firm challenge at the start of 2024, and then this will be my year. I'm gonna really start changing my life around. And look what's happened. It's halfway into the year now, and not what I expected to happen. Obviously, I had aspirations. I had aspirations to leave my job and be able to, um, you know, make this my income, but it's not happened so far yet. I mean, we're still only just starting the second half of the year, so it's still a lot of time. And yeah, considering how much time has passed through this year, I've definitely learned a lot. And for me, I'm coming into my third year of trading in August, which is soon. So um, I've definitely seen the charts for a while, and it's gonna. I'm trying not to put expectations on myself. Is what my point is. I don't think you should either, because you're gonna feel like you're gonna feel weird after not realizing that it's not gonna come into fruition. But I really do hope that you do. You know, as I said, I'm not trying to burst your bubble. I hope you do. Who knows? Maybe you do quicker than I do. I hope you do. But yeah, it's gonna be. It's hard to hold yourself to expectations like that. You know, I just realize a lot in my videos I say too much, and I need to stop that. I'm putting in too many filler words with what I say. But me, I try not to give myself expectations. I think at this point I've realized that kind of just have to swallow the pill. You know, when you do it for so long, you just realize, okay, it's taken this long now, and you quitting now and stopping now will just be so disingenuous to yourself. So it's like, why would you bother stopping? Just keep going. It might be hard now, but who knows? Around after this difficulty passes over, that's when things start changing. Um, I'm not liking how we've just gone straight down at the opening bell. So what this might signify to me is that we might have a New York reversal. I mean, I'm gonna let all the other news events pass over because if it's not to my expectations, then I'm just not gonna trade. But I'd like to have a bearish setting, but I don't think it's gonna give that to me. It's just been straight downside the whole day so far. And personally, I'm not too much of a fan of that. Yeah, as I was saying, it's you do when you do this for so long, it's like you don't really want to. It just feels weird to yourself if you say that you want to stop, and I think you'd feel even more bad that you stopped rather than just carrying on doing it. You know. See, I'll just say that again. But that's the that's the trade-off, I guess. Training is definitely hard, no doubt. Take a serious step with it, especially once you have consistent wins. Yeah, exactly. When you start seeing the fruit of your labor finally showing up, start having winning trades and whatnot, then it gives you that glimmer of hope. You know, it gives you confidence that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that if you just believe in yourself and keep doing it, then at some point things will look bright. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to say that there's a groundbreaking turning point, a massive finish line in terms of trading. It's just you'll just get more consistent. You'll get consistent. You'll have losing trades sometimes, and it's just that endless cycle of having some wins, having some losses, maybe having a win streak, maybe having a losing streak, but continually pushing through that. And the only thing that will keep you net positive up is your risk management, essentially. So um, I don't think there's not going to be a major point in time where you suddenly open your eyes and think, oh shit, I'm now an amazing trader. you know, I mean, obviously that major turning point might be when you, for example, when you eventually hand in your work resignation and leave your job. That's a big moment. But what I'm trying to say is that there's no such thing as really a big moment in trading either. It's kind of just it happens, and when you feel like it, then you can start taking the next step, move on to the next stepping stone of your life. You know. See, I don't know why I keep saying it. Trade off the weekly, daily, and 4 hour. Oh, so I'm assuming you're more of a swing trader, or a position trader. I don't know why I keep saying it. Trade off the weekly, daily, and 4 hour. Oh, so start having winning trades and whatnot. Then it gives you that glimmer of hope. You know, it gives you confidence that there's light at swing trader or position trader. I keep saying. Okay, well this idea goes out the window. I mean, now my expectations have kind of shifted now because I was expecting to see some sort of manipulation going up to then make the move going down, but I don't think that's what it's got in mind now. I think it seems like we'll want to do. I mean, the overall movement for the New York session can be straight downside, but if if anything, there might be a move going up slightly, like the little tail off for the session, and if there's a setup there, then maybe I could participate in that, and that would be a bullish setup. I had a bearish price for today. I'm not seeing a bearish setup personally. It's just been extremely heavy to one side, and I don't really like these days. I want to be able to get in on a retracement. So yeah, no problem. Let me just carry on watching and see. Oh, excuse me. Seeing what happens. Hi bro, that buy side liquidity defined, sorry I just don't know. That buy side liquidity defined in M15, sorry I just joined it now. Okay fine, now it's clear. I mean this, it's just, I just noted it because it was like what I usually do before, so I tend to look at the charts before 9:30, and what I'll do is I'll just note whatever's around price nearby at the minute, and I'll tend to do that on the M15 chart, on the 15 minute. If there's something painfully obvious on the 1 hour as well, then I'll note that as well. But I tend to use a 1 hour and 4 hour for like my order flow direction, something like that. And then obviously daily charts for bias. 4 hour, 1 hour is for like overall movement in price if it still supports the daily bias. And then 15 minute and below is just for like any small details like liquidity, for example, and yeah, just other small details I missed out on. And I'll tend to enter on the 5 minute and below. So I'm a scalper, but I do flick through all the time frames because I need it. I do need most of the time frames to be in alignment. I can trade without, like I can trade against the bias, but I'd have to respect that with the risk. So yeah, it just means that I'll have to dial back the risk a bit. So it could happen today where I trade a bullish settlement instead, going off what the internal intraday liquidity and order flow is saying. And I could end up doing a bullish setup. I was initially looking for a bearish one because my bias was bearish today. But because it's already performing so much movement, so much bearish movement, it's already heavy to one side. My last expectation could be that it tails off at the end of the New York session, and then that would be a bullish setup. It's not going to be a huge setup. I'm only going to try go for easy objectives. I'll dial back the risk as well because I'm going to respect the fact that I'm trading against the bias. And then whatever I take, I get. And I'll be happy with. But at the minute, nothing's happening. So, I mean, I say nothing's happening. It's obviously moving in one direction, but there's nothing in particular for me to want to get into a setup. Still just going lower and lower. I don't particularly fancy chasing a move going lower. That's just how my discipline is. Speaking of discipline, that's actually what my video on this week's going to be about. I still need to make the thumbnail. It's quite a long video actually this week, about 20 minutes ish, and it's going to go really deeply into discipline and how you should be looking at discipline in terms of trading. I just looked at this stream settings and it says that my category for streams is on people's and blogs. And I don't know if and I can't say I want to, if I apply to that category. Just going to quickly copy a description from my video. Actually, let me just do it from here. Yeah, how are you doing anyway? Got your name, hold on. Abhijit. I don't even know if you're still here, but. How are you doing anyway? I don't know if I'm going to document my funded challenge. I mean, the only thing that I do in terms of talking about my funded challenge is I post on my Instagram. So if you want to follow my Instagram, then there should be a link in the description now. Actually, wait, don't go on that link yet. Let me just save that. So yeah, there'll be a link in the description now if you want to follow my Instagram. Um, I'm just sorting out the hashtags on the video, but yeah, that's where I'm pretty much documenting my own trading. I'm not really talking about it much on in terms of videos. I'm just talking in terms of videos with my channel. I'm aiming for like uh, sort of what what goes on in the background in trading, which is ultimately what's important. And then things like this, live streams, I'll be commentating on the charts, trying to predict the markets, and then my actual uh, executions will be on. I'll screenshot them and post it on Instagram. So yeah, follow that if you want. Just like a series by taking a small funded account till getting the first payout. I mean, although that would be useful, I don't understand what you would gain from that because I probably don't trade the same as you. I probably have different risk management than you, and I don't, I'm not too I don't sure. I can't even speak. I'm not too sure what you'd find useful from me just passing off a funded account and getting to a payout. I mean, I will be documenting that. I will be talking about it in general, in videos in the future when I do eventually get my payout, talking about how it feels and what would be the best steps to take. Because I think that's more genuine. Someone talking about doing it for the first time and what they should be doing and documenting it as they are doing it. The setup is based on uh, full hour flow. Wait for market shift in 1 hour at least. M30 entry 9:15. First premium blah blah blah. Discount break 1 to 2 target. Yeah, I mean some of the things I will be. I mean, I won't actually be showing my actual uh, floating trades. I take my trades on MT5, which is on my phone. So you guys may or may not know if I take a trade during stream. Um, I mean, I'll probably annotate things on the charts to show that where my model is and where I'm expecting now for price to move. And so whether I do take a trade or not, that's down to me. Um, and I'll probably most likely I'm just here going to be voicing my thoughts anyway. And I don't really stream often anyway, um, to be able to do this and give you that opportunity. But a video series. I mean, the reason why I've not done a video series at the moment is because it's taken a very long time. Like, I bought a funded challenge at the start of this year, and then it's been very slow because I've kind of gone through a lot of ups and downs. Because I'm still just kind of gaining more experience. I'm still gaining my own way in trading as well. I'm still a developing trader like you are. And the reason why I started this channel is because I want to show people what it's actually like as a developing trader to go and speak about what they're going through as they're going through it. You know, do you see what I mean? So is one thing actually going through it and actually succeeding, and then saying in hindsight, okay, this is what happened, blah blah blah. But I'm just going to talk about it while I'm going through it because most likely than not, this is a situation that most of all you guys are probably in as well. So it's that to me feels more genuine. So we will get familiar with the psychology side also. Yeah, of course. I'd like to say I'm fairly educated now on psychology and how you should be taking your decisions as a trader. You know, your discipline and the actions you should be taking, you know, before trades, during a trade, and even after trades. So I can um, I can talk about it like now, as I am doing right now, but me making a video series, like I know there's loads of other people out online. I've even had them recommended to me saying like road to road to funded payout, day 15, day 42, day 89. Like some of you guys might find that interesting, but I think for the majority of people, I don't think they will, to be honest. Um, I do drop a lot of good value in terms of uh, on the caption of my posts on Instagram. So as I said, yeah, you'll find the trades that I take on Instagram. I don't just post winning trades, by the way, as well. I do post my losing trades as well and how I kind of come back from that. So if you want to know how I'm feeling as I go through it, I do document my trades on Instagram and I do caption about how I kind of reflect on what's just happened, you know. So you might find that useful too. Excuse me. So far, we're displacing through these lows. So again, it's signifying to me that we're probably going lower still. But the news at 9:45 did nothing. So let's just wait till 10 a.m. now to see what happens. I mean, the fact that 9:30 went down and, and then 9:45 did nothing probably signifies to me that it's heavily bearish. If the news injection couldn't bring price up to a retracement, then it's just weighing heavily to one side. Then probably just based off trying to gauge the behavior of price, basically. Um, Almost 10 o'clock now. I was rambling on for a bit there, but let's see how that goes. One time, can you explain your setup based on this chart? Well, currently at the moment, nothing's happening. My setup isn't here. My trading model isn't here at all, so I don't really have anything to show you. But I can show you yesterday's trading actually. This is yesterday's trading. So, without just to keep it simple, I was expecting price to move up to this, which is the daily fair value gap, the middle of it. It did it later on. Uh, excuse me, this day. So this is the day that I traded. Now I tend to look at a few things to be able to frame my setup, but there's power 3 going on here. So accumulation, manipulation, and then eventually distribution. I've seen initially from this day, from the early session, it was bullish. It was attacking all this liquidity up here, here, and then. So my expectation is where people are being profitable, is price going to want to manipulate into that. So before New York session, we've gone down into it. We went into a discount relative to this low and high. Went into a discount, and then nothing happened at 8:30. There was no news. So at 9:30, I was then looking to see what the behavior of price would be. I was expecting a move down, which it did a little bit, but to me, what that signified to me is that it was bullish. So we moved into a discount, and then we had liquidity taken here, and then shifted market structure. This liquidity taken here. Just make it a black line because otherwise the price would be too big. And then shifted higher. Left the fair value gap here. And I entered in here. So if I drop down to the 1 minute now, it was not a very good day to trade, I'll be honest. I mean, I still managed to win. I still managed to make profit, which is fine. One thing I forgot to note as well is that it was this whole retracement down that was going on here. It was moving into this fair value gap, the retracement down. So I'll note that as a normal fair value gap. So that was my point of interest. So price had then moved into my point of interest. And then because I don't tend to position myself before 9:30, I wanted that to pass over. So what happened at 9:30 was I was expecting a down move, fine. Took out liquidity one more time, then shifted up. And so because my expectation was for price to go up to here, I waited for my fair value gap on the 5-minute chart. I entered in on this candle here, something like that, and I needed a lot of confluences in my favor. So fair value gap's one of them. This fair value gap is one of them. This breaker here is one of them, and the order block. So my stop loss had to be something like this, quite wide. I was targeting up here, 1 to 1.2. Not particularly bothered about the risk to reward. I just wanted to make sure that my stop loss was adequate distance. Took a partial here. Price came down, hovering around this 5-minute gap again. Came up again. Eventually wanted to go higher. Took out these relatively equal highs. And then, yeah, took most of it off here. And then on this candle, I just decided to close it out because I was thinking by this point, price had just moved sideways, and it should have moved significantly to one direction or the other at that point. And I think there was news at 10. Yeah, there was. There was news at 10, and it didn't really do anything. Moved high a bit, but nothing really happened. So I took it off, took what I made for the day, and I was happy with that. As long as it wasn't a losing trade, but that's essentially my setup. It's mostly the 2022 mentorship as a foundation, and then a couple of things on core content, and then a lot more mindset things when it comes to from the 2023 mentorship, the mindset of how I should be viewing the market live. Right, so 10 EM's done nothing. It's not doing anything yet. For me to want to have a bullish setup, it needs to display strongly past this high. So 93.99, 94, 92. Yeah, so this is a swing high here. It needs to displace past that strongly for me to want to have a bullish setup. It has reached a consequent encroachment of this weekly gap, so it is it could be considered a point of interest, but the fact that we displace it through this sell side liquidity is telling me that it's not wanting to go back up higher. Nice, very nice explanation. And can you explain how you decide to trade to close early? So a lot of this, I know this is the answer you're not going to want to hear, but I know a lot of it comes from experience. So when you take so many trades, you kind of get used to in your mind when price should most likely start to take off. Which, by the way, if I just go back to the 1 minute chart on that example, like if my stop loss was like down here, right? So I forgot the entry, but it was something like this. If I didn't take off so that's my entry was here. Don't know what just did there. My entry was here, and I took the last bit off on this candle here. If I wouldn't have taken off, although I was trading my stop loss higher, I think I eventually moved up to here under this low. I would have got stopped out, and it would have been a loss because price moved down. Came back to midnight opening price again, and then went and reached my target. I don't care about this. I don't care about what's happening and what happened here, because I wanted it to happen in my time window of the New York session to hit it here. So it gets to a point where you realise after certain points in time, so after the 9:30 opening bell, for example, price tends to want to distribute higher or lower within a certain amount of time. And if you remember what I said before, it was hovering around so much in this 5 minute fair value gap. It was hovering around so much in there, kind of moving sideways. And by then, I would have expected it to just have moved higher. By 10 a.m., I wanted it to shoot up, but it didn't. It kept moving sideways. So what that indicates to me is that it's not strongly bullish anymore. So it probably means that it's kind of run out of steam and it wants to do it might want to dive in and do a retracement. So that's what I did. So I took it off. I was content with it being in profit, that last position of the trade. It was in profit, and I decided, I'll be happy to take it off here. So I just pressed the button, took it off, no hesitation. I was happy with it, and you just have to make sure not to invite greed into your emotions when you're trading, because this is something that I'm very guilty of this as well. when you have like a last runner on, or when you have like a last bit of trade on that's in a loss, it's like you're asking for price to want to reach a certain price level. You're kind of like talking to the market, which is delusional at that point. And so it's like when it doesn't give it to you, you get even more panicked now. You get even more emotional, and it's like, okay, when's the next best place to take off the position? So if you just take it off early without any hesitation, not only do you not go through that emotional roller coaster of greed, of making you kind of do the guesswork of trying to wait to see if it comes back on you. Just take it off. Even if it's as long as it's in profit or even break even, just take it off. So that's what I did. It wasn't moving that fast. I was watching. I came to the conclusion from the behavior of price, watching price action signatures, and it was telling me that it wasn't strongly bullish anymore. It didn't want to run any higher. So it could potentially move back on me. So while the position is in profit above my entry, let me just take it off and I'll be happy with that. But let me get back to price action at hand. Yeah, no, this is Cool. Anyway, it doesn't really want to. I hate these sort of days. I hate these days where it just goes lower and lower and lower, or it just goes higher, higher, higher without even wanting to stop. Like you're not really going to. You're not giving me an opportunity to enter. Oh, it's expanded. And it moves sideways, but it just dropped lower again like a ball, like a bear flag. Like, come on now, just at least let it retrace, knock some people out, and then I can get it, you know. But I don't think it wants to do that. But yeah, I hope that explanation made sense. It happens over time. The more you watch the market, the more you tend to pick up these behaviors in price. You then start to um, uh, you get used to how price wants to react at certain points, and especially because you know about ICT, you know that price moves at certain times of the day. So you kind of like timing, putting a stopwatch on, see how um, how long it will take for price to move. Now I'm not expecting a traceman. I'm gonna just get rid of this because it's just one of those days where it just wants to go lower, 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 and it's not going to offer retracement to get in because my setup is to seek liquidity and then get in. I mean, as I showed you, market structure shift, get in, and then ride the move. But it's not offering that. It's not offering that in the New York session. So it's just even from the London session, from the midnight opening price, it's just been dipping lower, lower, lower. Not very nice to get into, but what can you do? That's just price just wants to do that, I guess. Yeah, nothing's really happening. All the news has passed over, and I don't think it's going to really present anything. I mean, if anything, what it could do is give one last surprise and just shift above this high and make a bullish move, like a small bullish move. But I'm not sure. I think it's too late. Well, it might be too late in the day for it to want to do that. It's I mean, let's just keep watching and seeing what happens. I'm just gonna carry on tape reading. Because so far in my own development as a trader, I've not really been able to understand how to um, cope with these sort of scenarios where it just goes straight lower or straight higher. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I don't have FOMO. It's not giving me a setup. Uh, Analyze EU. I mean, I've never looked at EU. I don't know what you want me to. I can look at the daily chart for you if you want. I don't know. I'm not going to go lower than that. But this is a weekly. So far, it's just inside this fair value gap. Made a little dip. Took this buy side and this buy side here. Dipped in the fair value gap. So because it's reached internal range liquidity, you could expect it to look to take external range liquidity again, which would be this high. That's a long-term perspective. That might not happen this week. I'm not saying it will happen this week. Could happen next week as well. But it could be expected that Wednesday here could be the low of the week, and then it will go higher. I'll give you an analysis on DXY. It's in a weekly gap, took sell side. I noticed this beforehand. I do this analysis on the weekend, on Sunday, if not Monday, but I noticed sell side for a while and this weekly gap, and it dipped into it and it shifted out again. So now at the minute it's just hovering, but it's moved into this fair value gap, took some external range, and now it's going to move to internal range. And what it does after this, whether it sinks deeper or breaks down completely, takes out this low, I don't know yet. It's kind of 50-50 at the minute because it's in the middle of the range. It could, because it's the middle of the range, this range, so from here to here, it could either stop here, reverse and go higher, or it could keep going lower. I'm not too sure. GU, same thing, I guess. But EU, that's the only thing I do see. Shifted higher. Took out all these highs. And just hovering a fair value up. So it will go, go into this and then push up higher. What's S&P saying? Lower, 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 fine. And Q, lower, lower, lower. Okay, yeah, I don't think, I'm not sure if I care too much about the charts anymore. And I may potentially end it here because I want to make sure that I've given myself enough time to get to work on time. When does my shift start? It starts at 4 p.m. Yeah, so I'm going to end it here. I need to get ready to go to work now. So, yeah, appreciate you guys who joined the stream. Had a nice conversation. Drop some value as usual. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day and take care.